Okay, we are going to be talking about a strategy primarily used by super affiliates. And you will be able to use this strategy in your business to use affiliate promotions to your benefit. Now, what you're going to need first, and we don't have time to cover this in this video, but you will need a reliable and a relevant traffic source. In other words, the traffic that you have coming to your offers does want what you have to offer, and you want to make sure that if you are focusing on the make money online niche, that is the traffic that you are focusing in this with this strategy. Now, in particular, you will need to understand the offer. So if you are going to market a product as an affiliate, you need to understand first the offer. You need to understand the benefits. You need to understand what it does. And you need to understand how it is presented. All those things are going to be important because what you are going to need to look for in order to make this strategy work is the weakness in the product. In other words, you're going to have to assume that all products, everything that has been created by any info product creator, is going to be incomplete in some way, because once you figure out how it's incomplete, then that's how you're going to be able to use this strategy, which is to offer a bonus that really does bring value to the buyer. You will be able to use this in order to gain more buyers to buy the product through your link. What you're going to do is you are going to create a bonus that could be considered worth more than the product itself. And we'll be getting into that in this video. Now, you are going to take this bonus and you're going to create real value for the buyer. In other words, you don't want to rely on stacking bonuses. In other words, if you have a product in the make money online niche, it's common among marketers to find resale rights products and find other products that maybe they've created and to stack them and offer them in addition to the purchase of the affiliate product. And while that can be effective, what is most effective is when you create a bonus that provides real value for the buyers. That is really going to be key in what we are trying to do here. Now, the other thing that you're going to want to do is you want to get helping the buyer. In other words, real value is helping that buyer, even if they're buying as an affiliate, to get real, faster results with your bonus. That's one way to create real value. You can help them to take the product they're buying and then to get results faster with something that you're offering, and you make that apparent in your sales presentation, well, they're going to be willing to buy more readily. The other thing is that you can do is you can help the buyer get more of what they want with your bonus. We're going to be explaining that as this tutorial goes along. Now, here's what you're going to want to know about this strategy. In particular, when you're looking at a product to promote as an affiliate, we're going to be talking about something that's going to take a little more work than the normal strategy. It's going to take, it's probably going to cost you a little more. Therefore, if a product doesn't create a page that's just for their JVs that gives you lots of information about the product in addition to promotional materials, it may not be worth your time to go through this process. And that's important to note. I'm going to show you right now what a JV page looks like so that you'll know what you're looking for when you start determining, well, what kind of product is going to be worth it for me to put together this kind of effort. Now, what you'll notice is that I am inside of the ClickBank Marketplace, and you'll notice that here are a number of products. And what I'm going to do is if you look right in this area, you'll see a URL, and you'll see this throughout the products that you see in ClickBank. And this URL is actually it is a website that's dedicated to the affiliates. In other words, here's something that the product creator put together for the affiliates so that they'll have marketing materials and so that they'll be able to find out what the product is all about and what it really offers. I'm going to take you to that page briefly. Now, this product is one that has been off the market for a little while, but you'll get a good example of what I mean when I say that you'll want to take those products that have a JV page seriously when it comes to executing this strategy. Okay, so you'll see that this is the Google Sniper product. You'll notice that there are a number of things here just for the affiliate. They've got the link there, and then they've got a place where you can get on their email list for affiliates. Now, what you have here is you're going to get access as soon as you sign up for this part of the mailing list. You're going to get access to promotional materials. I'm going to go ahead and go through that process here with you. Okay, so now I'm on the other side now, and what I've done is I've put in my name and email address there. And what you're going to notice now is that there are a number of tools available to you. Now, I did this so that you'll know this is the kind of product that is going to be worth the effort that you're going to put in using this strategy. The payout's going to be enough. The product is probably going to convert. There's probably been effort put into the sales page. There's probably been a copywriter hired, because if you're going to do this and you're going to send traffic to a page like this, you want to make sure that the effort has been put in by the product creator to make your effort worthwhile. Now, I want to give you a couple of cautions about this strategy. First, this is not going to be a free method. So this is not going to be something that is basically one that you're going to be able to execute with no money involved. You are going to need to spend some money, and you are going to have to spend some time with this method. This is probably not also a Fiverr method. Now, I know there are a lot of methods out there where you can use Fiverr exclusively, and they're very easy, because the objective of this is really for you to maximize commissions on those products that really do convert. And so you are not going to necessarily, now you might be able to have some of the things outsourced to Fiverr, but in general, there are going to be some things in here that you want to start using in order to start building and establishing a business longer in term. Now, you will need to spend money to create a top quality bonus. Now, if you try to shortcut this, you won't see the results that you could see, because in this way, even having a list is not going to be enough when you're competing with other affiliates, when you're competing with other people who are going to be marketing the same products that you are on your list. Now, when you create real value for your buyer, this is another caution, you are going to be rewarded when they recognize the quality in what you're offering. In other words, you do want to take time to create something that's really going to help them implement what they're buying. And it really doesn't matter what niche you're in. Now, your bonus, and this is very important, it should be worth a minimum of 10 times the value of the product being sold, and it should not be like any other bonus available. So this is one of the dangers that you don't want to fall into when you're putting together, or you're stacking bonuses, or maybe you're getting resale rights products. You don't want to have anything that's going to look like something that someone else is doing. And as stated earlier, you're going to need to be willing to create marketing materials to market this bonus. So on one hand, you're going to create something that's going to help that buyer to implement faster, or to get more of what they're getting when they buy that product, but you're also going to want to create your own marketing materials to market your bonus. And this is really the powerful, the most powerful step in this process is you're going to market this as if it is your own product. Now, here's how you're going to be able to get your buyer results faster. Now, if you can, you want to try to get review access to the product so that you can see all this being offered. Remember, what's important here is you're trying to find the weakness in the product so that you can create a bonus that brings that product up to what the buyer really needs in order to implement quickly. Now, the question is, can you help the buyer with better marketing materials? In other words, if you're working inside of the Make Money Online niche and they're going to be looking to make money online, can you give that buyer something that they're going to be able to cut and paste, take your marketing materials that you're giving them, and then implement instantly so they don't have to create their own? Now, if so, you're going to want to have these created. And again, I'm gonna stress this again. Don't be cheap when you do this. Go ahead and give the buyer something that's really going to be of value to them, because they're going to recognize that when they see it. Here's another question. Can you help your buyer with something that's a cut and paste method? So when you understand the offer, can you break down the offer so that you can create something that'll be cut and paste? Do they need content, in order to exercise this? Can you give them that content so that they can cut and paste it and really get started right away? If you're going to do this, have some content created by somebody that understands content and product creation. Have something real put together for them. The other question is, now, can you help your buyer understand how to implement the contents? If so, you want to create the original content or have it created. A great way to do this is to really get a case study. Is to get a case study of someone who has gone through the process and give them that case study, which is a step-by-step program as to how they can actually do it. These are great bonuses because they're going to get that buyer started. They're going to get them implementing quickly, and they're going to recognize that when you offer it to them for buying through your link. Now, here's something that's very popular these days, which is to offer interviews. And actually, interviews are good, but they might not be valuable to the buyer. Okay, interviews are going to give them insight, but they won't necessarily get them implementing quickly. So while you can offer interviews, if you don't have anything else, you want to try to answer the 3 questions that we just talked about. Now, there's also Facebook and Skype groups. This is a very popular bonus to be offered. And these are good bonuses because people do like to connect with others. However, it's very time consuming on your part. So you're going to have to be there for every minute of that Skype group in order to make it worthwhile. So you want to be careful about offering Facebook and Skype groups as a bonus, even though they will create value for the buyer. Now, you want to make sure that your buyer understands the value of your bonus. In other words, you're going to create your own sales page and write copy for your bonus. So in other words, you are going to write this or have it written just as if you were selling the product yourself. And you're going to create your own sales video for the sales page. In other words, yes, you're offering a bonus, but you're going to create this as if it were your product. Your bonus is your product. You're offering it on top of the actual affiliate product because it's giving that buyer real value. Now, you want to be clear in spelling out what they're actually getting. And again, this is a sales process. You're going to be writing copy, and so you want to be clear in letting the buyers know how much they would pay if they were to have created what you're providing to them. So when you tell them what the bonus is, tell them what the real value is. Tell them what the street value is. Tell them what they would be paying if they were to have this outsource, which they're going to have to do in order to implement the method that you're selling to them. And once again, the key to this, right? The key to this is providing real value to the buyer. So you're going to be able to set yourself apart from all the other affiliates by providing real value. And you're going to give them something that's really going to be something that they're going to be able to use. Now, all products, and this is an important thing to mention. All products are incomplete. Every affiliate product, every product you're going to market as an affiliate, they're all incomplete. And you can always find something that will give that buyer some additional value. And so you can find something to help that buyer, but you're going to have to go through the process of understanding the product. You're going to have to go through the JV tools. If you can, you're going to want to get that product in your hands so that you can see what's really being offered. And you're going to be able to do this the more that you are performing as an affiliate. Now, I want to go through this quickly, and it is important, and this part of it, you're going to have to create the bonus and the marketing materials. Now, once again, this is going to be another one of those things. If you shortcut this, you won't get as many buyers. Now, if you just execute this strategy, just as we're saying it, and you don't necessarily spend a lot of money, you don't spend a lot of time, you are going to get more buyers if you just execute the strategy just the way we're presenting it to you. However, if you shortcut this part of the process, you won't get as many. So what you want to do is when you're going out to get product creators and copywriters and graphic designers to help you with this, to help you put together a bonus, you're establishing a relationship. So this is not, you don't want to treat this like a project. You want to treat this like a real part of your business. And because you're marketing digital products, here's the key, right, to the strategy. Anytime that you're working inside to make money online, is you can help that buyer by giving them good graphics. Those are extremely important. That's really almost going to help them over and above everything else you do. Yes, you can write good copy and give them content, but if you give them good graphics, you're going to be able to take those and they're going to be able to pretty much implement right away and start selling. And that will really help them. But you're going to have to, again, invest in really helping them. Invest in good graphics so that they'll have something to present. Now, it's almost impossible for people to visualize the value of what they're getting. So you're going to need to help them as much on your sales page as possible. So give them exactly let them see what they're getting from you. Give them as many visuals as you can. So let's sum up. What is this super affiliate strategy? What are you really trying to do here? You are going to treat your bonus like a product. That really is, it's almost simplistic, but it is going to be the difference between a person choosing your bonus over someone else's bonus. And when you put the effort into this, now if you're going to ask how much should you spend and how much time should you spend, you should allot whatever you can that your budget will allow. You obviously don't want to put yourself in financial harm in order to do this, but you want to set aside money in your budget, right, in your business budget in order to do this, to treat your bonus like a product and to put the effort into selling. You are marketing a product as an affiliate. You're not just putting a link out there. What super affiliates do is they treat their bonus to the buyer as a product. So even if you have a list, you can get a good share of buyers by having a superior bonus. And when you're creating a good bonus, yes, you are going to want to use money and time, but you're going to want to create real value. So that really is the key. You're really looking for what's missing in that product. You're looking to get the buyer started faster. You're looking to get the buyer more than what they would get otherwise if they didn't have your bonus. That's really what you're doing. And, when you are creating good value for them, you have to create superior market materials for your bonus. In other words, you've got to create a sales page for your bonus. You need to create something that's going to get them interested. You're going to create something that's going to make them want your bonus as much as the product, if not more. Now, the more that you generate good sales for other product creators, you're going to start showing up on leaderboards, and they will give you an earlier look at the product. That might be something that you're looking at this strategy, you're thinking that could be a sticking point. How am I going to get that access to that product? How am I going to get it before these other people that I'm creating? And part of that is going to be just showing up on the leaderboard, or just showing up as having made a sale. And the more that you execute this strategy, the more that you treat your bonus as a product, you are going to sell more of that product, and you're going to get on the radar of some of these product creators, and they're going to be willing to give you an earlier look at that product. And ultimately, as is the case with everything you're doing in business, develop good relationships with your partners. And this is going to be easy. So develop good relationships with the people that are creating your bonus. Develop good relationships with the affiliates. This is going to make this strategy work, and it work extremely well time after time again. So with that, thanks, and have a great day and pleasant tomorrow. Take care.